Welcome YouTube, this is the Velvet Locks with a Q&A lock talk video. And these are questions that my daughter Desiree Marie, she's also a YouTuber, fellow content creator here on YouTube. She has her own channel, so she wanted to bring me on her channel so that this way, you know, whatever questions that you have regarding your locks, and she's kind of been asked a lot of questions that I guess we would say are more for an experienced locker. So, I'm here to answer her questions that she's been given towards her subscribers. So this is why you see us together. So this is basically her Q&A questions that I will be also answering and presenting it on my channel for those of you who are in the baby lock stages and still have questions, okay? So we're going to get to the video right now.
Alright, so our very first question comes from a subscriber named Natasha Meredith. Hey! And she says, hey, I'm so upset my roots are locking and I have a lot of buds everywhere and I'm 3 months. But my ends are coming loose and I be having to twist it back up. And I put no product on my locks, only put oil on my scalp and edges. Should I worry about the ends coming loose or keep twisting it back up? Help! And I love your locks as always. Thank you, Natasha. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I agree with you, Natasha. Keep twisting it back. That's all you can do. Keep twisting it back and palm roll it. You know, I mean, all of us have different texture hair. And not all the time, you know, when you see some lockers out there, they got the nice rounded ends. And I wish my hair was like that. But I have different textures in my head. Some of them seal like this. Some of them are sealed and rounded. And then I got some stringy ones like this one. It may not look stringy on camera, but it's stringy. Especially once it's wet. Especially after a shampoo. I got a lot of those. I don't worry about them anymore because your hair is going to do what it does. There's no forcing it. There's no way to really like get it to bud at the end where it's sealed. Okay, it may not behave the way you want it to. There's no controlling it because it does its own little meshing and intertwining, and you know, you just cannot use conditioner on your hair, which is what I don't. I cannot use conditioner on my ends. When I use conditioner, I usually just put it on my scalp and maybe along the shaft. But as a baby locker, don't use conditioner because it will unravel your locks. And I noticed that some of my locks, they just will not seal at all. And it just seems like they kind of unravel a little bit after a wash especially. So just embrace your hair and, you know, just... if you gotta twist it up, but it's gonna do what it does, so embrace it.
I do have a question as you're answering that. For people that have the soft textured hair and they are always experiencing unraveling, do you think that it would be best if they back comb their hair, interlock it, or you know, that method that you
Yeah. Well, I think that back combing method is only good for those that have the fine hair texture, like Caucasian hair, maybe Asian hair that is really hard to lock. So with that, you have to back comb it. But as far as the ends, you can try to do as much as you can and palm roll it, but the ends are going to do what it does depending on your texture of hair. So you can try to get your hair shaft to actually mesh, you know, so that it can start that locking process. Interlocking is not going to do anything for your ends at all. It's, you know, your ends are going to do what it does. So you just got to embrace the things that your hair does. You know, I wouldn't even put beeswax. Some people, you know, when you watch these channels and people are doing so many different things, no, do not ever use beeswax on your hair. That will cause buildup. That would also cause breaking over time. So do not put anything harsh that's going to stain in your hair. I mean, you hear all sorts of craziness. People have even put mud.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mud in their hair to kind of get it to mesh. No, don't do that. So you just gotta let it do what it do. If you have that fine Caucasian hair where you're trying to get it to lock, yeah, that back combing method really works. You know, you just back comb it or you use the brush to back comb it. But for the ends, over time they may seal or they may not. It depends on your hair texture.
All right, so you just have to be patient, basically.
Yeah, you can't rush the process.
Yeah.
No.
All right, the next question that we have comes from a subscriber named Wendy Davis.
Hi, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy. And she says, love this video. Thank you. I'm 4 months into my journey and I really enjoy seeing your updates. I started with 2-strand twists as well. The back of my hair looks like locks, but the front still has the 2-strand twist pattern. Did you experience that at 4 months?
You want to answer that?
Well, I'll answer and then you can
Okay.
answer. I mean, leading up to even now, maybe about 2 months ago, I felt like the front still looked like 2-strand twists. So I like we said in the last question, I just had to be patient. I know that I have a different texture in the very front of my head than in the middle. So I did have to understand that the front would develop differently than the other sides of my hair. I had like kind of like a 4B pattern in the very beginning and very back, and then like a 4C texture. So you may have different textures in your hair, and they're going to develop at different paces. So you just have to be patient. Even right now, like I have some locks that seem like they still have like a
2-strand pattern.
yeah, like not
Spiral.
exactly, yeah, like spiral, like they're bumpy. So I know that eventually it'll look great. My mother also started with 2-strand twists, and
Yes.
she has a different texture.
Yeah, it all depends on your texture. I mean, some people that started out with 2-strand twists, some, depending on how kinky their hair is, will lock quick within 4 months. Some takes longer. Mine took a long time. And depending on the textures it's inside of your head, like I have in the back a softer texture than I do in the front. So it all locks differently and it all does its own thing differently. Some parts of your head may take longer than others to actually look like it's locked, and some will lock right away. It all depends on the texture of your hair. And then you might have 2 textures in your hair.
Yeah.
So not everyone has an equal, maybe 4C, 4B, whatever. Some has maybe a 4C in the front and a 3A or something in the back. It all depends. It depends on your genetics. So you just got to be patient. Let your hair do what it does. Keep palm rolling. You know, it's going to mesh eventually. It's going to look locked. Some places may take longer than others.
Yeah. Fines. Okay, so you talked about drinking water. I find my midsection is getting those stringy ends. My back locks are sealed up already. One question, do you count month to month or by weeks, since some weeks in a month is longer? Excited to see your videos. Oh, okay.
What that mean?
Do you count month to month or by weeks, since some weeks are... Oh, okay. I think she's talking about my weekly updates, weekly lock updates. To just to make it easier, I'll do month. Like say I'm in month 2, week 2. I'll say month 2, week 2 rather than X amount of weeks. You know, I want to keep it simple. So we'll talk about your stringy ends. Your midsection is getting those stringy ends, and your back locks are sealed up already.
It all depends on your texture. You know, like we said just now, it depends on the kind of textures you have in your hair. I can't stand those stringy ends because I still have them and I'm 5 years in.
Wow.
Some parts, like this one right here. Look at that. And it doesn't look that stringy, but if you feel it, it's stringy. Oh, but when it's wet, you feel it, you know? So these things happen and you just leave them alone. Don't try to cut it. Although she has stringy ends and I'd be like,
yeah, in the beginning.
like this one right here, you just want to snap it off. But your hair is going to still grow beautiful and long. It just may take some parts of your head a little longer to look the way you want it to look. And it may not look 100% sealed. It's all depending on your texture.
Yeah. Well, with that stringy piece that my mother picked out, I don't even know where, but when I had a lot of those, I would just take them and wrap them around like you had told me. So just
I'm looking for it because
Just
I
take
be
them
wanting
and wrap them around. You don't want to do that because then you'll never have sealed ends.
They're not gonna seal anyway. Some of them.
No, they will.
Not
if
all
you
the
just
time.
Be patient. Yeah. So, I mean, they'll eventually develop the ends, but I mean, for the most part, that's been helping me, just wrapping it back up again when they get out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, the next question we will tackle is from Tolu Salako Music.
Ooh,
Hey!
yeah.
And they say, thanks for the tips. I am a few days over my 6 months mark. Congrats!
All right.
However, some of my 2-strand twists keep unraveling along the shaft. I really don't want to use any gels or wax. So please, what do you suggest I do?
Keep twisting it back. That's all you can do. Keep twisting it back and palm roll it. You know, that's all you can do at this point. That's it. If they unravel, keep twisting it back and palm roll it.
No,
6
actually,
months?
we just...
Was that the 6 months?
Yeah, we just did that.
Okay.
We didn't want to do gel or wax. Okay.
No wax. Definitely don't use wax on your hair. I mean, depending on your fine texture, some really have had to use the wax, but wax is no good because it leaves that film in your hair. Your hair will have white spots. If you've noticed, some people, you stood in back of them and you see these little white, gray looking, look like dirt. You know, don't use the wax. The wax is not good for your hair. It suffocates your hair. It takes away the oxygen from your hair, and it doesn't wash out. It doesn't wash out, and it's going to still, you know, attract all the other little good, the shampoos, the conditioners, the oils, and it's just going to continue to weigh your hair down, and it's going to look dirty, even when it's clean. So don't use wax. Wax is the hardest thing to get out, and it does not come out your hair completely. So never use the wax. If anything, try to use some aloe vera, but you know, there's nothing much that you can do. You may try to do a little back combing in the wherever that's unraveling in the middle of your hair, if possible. Palm roll that, you know, palm roll that, and that's all you can do. But if it unravels, like if it's in the, she said she's what, how many months in?
A little over 6 months.
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of tough.
A few days over 6 months.
Yeah, try to back comb that if you can, a little something, but if that's in the middle of your lock, but there's nothing you can possibly do besides just retwisting it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are all the questions, but I do have one more bonus question since we have a guest. I wanted to ask you, what is your lock regimen? How you care for your locks from day to day or month to month? If you have any tips for the viewers that we can use.
Okay, well, I mean, I wash my hair maybe like once every 2 to 3 weeks. Now that it's winter, my hair doesn't require a lot of washing, but in the summertime, usually like every week or two, I have to wash it because it's sweaty and it's hot. I usually use the Indian products. I'm sure Desiree has also showcased some of that on her channel, as well as I've uploaded a video on the things that I've used, so maybe we'll put that link down below. But I mean, I will use the Indian products on my hair. Being that my hair has some fine textures in between, I don't like to use conditioner. I would rather do a hot oil treatment on my hair, or even just after I wash it, I would just use my oils and be good with that. Only because some of my locks will unravel, some of my ends will unravel, and I don't want that. So to avoid it, I kind of eliminate most of the times of conditioning my hair. What I've been doing now, being it is hot, it's cold and it's brutal out there for the winter, I would put conditioner on my scalp and maybe a little bit on my shaft of my hair, not really bringing it down to the ends. But I do use my oils to give my hair that moisture, or I'll do a hot oil steam. You know, Desi has also did a video on the steaming process that she uses, and I do the same thing as well. But usually it's just shampoo and oils. And I oil my scalp maybe every 2 days because it gets dry. Especially now, it gets dry. So I will put my oils, I'll spritz my hair. I love spritzing it with the water. either lemongrass water, rose water. That's a really good thing. It's healthy for your hair. It gives your hair that nice extra benefits of the rose water. And yeah, just spritz it with some water or rose water and some oils, basically. Yeah. And then from time to time I'll give it some love, and I'll do a hot oil steam treatment or so, deep conditioner it, but not on the ends. Definitely not the ends.
Okay.
And when your hair needs trimming, you trim it.
Yeah, when do you trim?
Well, I don't cut my hair, but if I see weak spots, which I can get from time to time using those rubber bands and also the hairpins, depending on how weak it is. If it's at the tip of my ends or so, I see that they're fragile, I just cut those off. If you have weak spots in between your hair, what you can do is knot it, okay? And maybe we'll do a tutorial one day on how to keep your hair from breaking off when you have weak spots in the middle of your lock. So you would tie a knot in your lock, palm roll it, and I'll do a demonstration one day on that.
All right, great. Well, that just about wraps up our Lock Chat Q&A. I am so excited to have brought my mother. You guys have been talking about her. Some of you guys are already subscribed, but if you're not, do subscribe because she's got some upcoming videos. She also talks about health and wellness, so that's very essential when you have locks.
Yes, it's very important about that. You have to feed your body good if you want to see good results in your hair, in your skin, in your nails, everything. Everything starts from inside. So what you feed your body is what is going to produce on the outside. Also, hydration is very important. Drink lots of water. Lots and lots of water. She calls me the food police.
Yes.
Yeah, she calls me the food police. I'm always getting on her case. You need to drink some water. You need to eat this. You need to eat that. You have to take good care of your body in order for your hair to show the results of that. So eat good, drink lots of water, eat a lot green smoothies, vegetables, as much as you can, fruits, and you'll see some differences. Stay away from all the junk, the grease, the chips, fast foods.
Yeah, I'm trying. Guys, you already know my problem with water.
Me too. I have the same problem. I can't stand drinking water.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had lots of fun doing this. So yes, subscribe to her channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, do subscribe because I'm sure this is not the last time we'll have her. Sorry.
I'm always on her channel. I'm always trolling on her channel.
Yeah. So we'll have her back on again to address some of you girls and guys questions. If you have any more questions, list them down below so that we can scoop them up and address them right from the comment section. But as always, I'm so happy to have you guys on my journey. Thank you for watching, and yes, I am so excited. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.